Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I know we've been gone for a while. But anyway, welcome back to Paranormal Q&A with Jack Kenna and
Carly Hall.
Carly Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out of it for a couple weeks, so I apologize to everybody for been around for a while. So, oh my God, doesn't look like anybody's been watching, Carly. I don't know. No, we got Bob Burnell. Bob Burnell's there. So we haven't had too much going on. Carly's had a lot going on with her other stuff.
Yeah.
But, Paranormal Eyes are just getting ready for some events coming up and stuff like that. It's going all good. How you doing out there, Bob? Bob says, hey, guys. So we are back. Bob, I will read all your messages. I still have not read them yet that you messaged me over the weekend, but I will get to them. Dr. Cristofano, there he is. How you doing out there, Don? Yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm doing okay, hanging in there. I think I don't know what I had. Some kind of bug there. Anyways, feeling better. Back to work again today, of course. Bob Maloney, how you doing out there? John, how you doing out there? John McGinnis. Karen, how's Karen doing? Happy Tuesday, she says. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'd be happier if it was Thursday, but that's okay. We joined your group, Bob. If you want to post your group in here, Bob, you feel free to do so. I think you invited most everybody who's in here, but if you feel like posting out there, it's okay. And Don, I know Ellen McNeil has been talking with Don DeCristofano, and we're setting up something to do with the USS Salem. I know we've been invited to do an event there too, so we will be doing that. I think, we're actually doing a lecture. I guess we've been invited. Somebody's having something there. We've been invited to a lecture there. We are going to do that. I forget the dates on all that. Ellen just told me that over the weekend. I think I talked to her Sunday. So, anyways, we'll be doing all that. But we don't have dates yet for anything that us are doing in Spirits of New England with Ellen for the thing that we're going to do. But I know she's working that out. I guess she probably already gave dates to Don. And Carl Mitchell, how you doing out there? How's everybody doing? It's good to see everybody. And we've been away for a while, so you guys should have all kinds of questions for us already tonight. Since it's been like a couple weeks, you should have loaded with questions for us. Otherwise, it's gonna be a real boring show for our first one back in a while. Do I have any new announcements? Let me see. I think I got a new announcement for an event this year. Just look at something. Well, we announced that we're going to be doing the one in Tennessee, July 31st or August 1st. Haunt You Forever Paranormal Experience in Pulaski, Tennessee. We'll be down there that weekend. Don't forget, people, August 20th and 22nd, Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Carly and I will be speaking on Friday. So if you want to come to that, come down. You can catch us. We are speaking on Friday, the 20th. I forget what time we're speaking, but show up. Come on down to it. Witch City Parafest in Salem, Massachusetts, November 5th through the 7th at the Hawthorne Hotel. So get your tickets. You can get your tickets online for that. And I know I'm going to be doing, I don't have it in my thing, but I got to get it up there. I know we're doing something with Selma Mansion in September. So hopefully that all works out, unless my daughter-in-law decides to have the baby early, then we may have to cancel something. It's going to take precedence. Yes, my son and his wife, who recently got married, they're just found out, 2 months ago now, that she was pregnant. Maybe 3.
I'd say like a month ago or 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know
the gender reveal like a month ago. So
yeah, I know she's doing like October. So anything in October, you never know. Might have to cancel out or something in October. We also have I don't have my phone in front of me, but we'll be doing with Chris Sanders. We'll be doing his event in Maine.
Mhm.
I think it's Maine Paracon.
Yep.
Anyways, and I forget the date. It's actually the weekend before your birthday, just before your birthday.
Yes.
So that's
October 9th.
October 9th, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, so we'll be there for that. I don't have details on that yet. I'll have to get with Chris to get more details on it. And who else? I'm just looking at, Linda Lou is here with us tonight. So come on, guys, you got to have some questions for us. It's been so long. Or you've all just given up on us. I guess you've given up. No questions. Bob Burnell did come up with a good idea, though. We just joined. I think you did too. You got the invite for his group.
Yes, I did join.
Don't
Yes.
fall asleep on here.
I'm
Carly.
sorry.
I'm gone if you fall asleep. I'm on my own at that point. So, but we're going to talk more. I do want to talk more about Bob's stuff, probably the next show, because I want to go through it and I want to talk more about what his idea is and what he's got going on. But I'll probably do that the next show because I got to read some stuff he sent me, which I haven't had a chance to read yet. So, anyway, if Bob sent you an invite for his group out there, please join it. We already have. We're proud to be a part of it. So I'm just looking for questions. I got no questions. Okay. Great show, everybody. Have a good night. We'll all see you again soon. Just kidding. Just kidding. Is there anything you want to talk about, Carly? Anything that's been on your mind paranormal-wise lately?
There was one thing that I was actually thinking about when I woke up today that was actually like very smart, but you'd think I'd be able to remember what it was, but no.
Doesn't do you any good if you can't remember it.
I know. I remember how great of a question it was, or idea, but no.
Idea. What did it entail? You didn't tell me about it, so I can't help you.
I just thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool, and then I forgot. See, I needed to write it down.
We have some investigations coming up with Spirits of New England. We had 2 client forms come through, so we got a couple of investigations coming up. Ellen McNeil is putting those together for us, so we have that coming up. We could talk about some of that stuff later on after we're done with those. Here's a question from Linda Lou.
Thank you, Linda Lou.
Yeah, appreciate it. What would you and Carly say is the scariest movie you've ever watched? Scariest movie I've ever watched. Probably The Exorcist. Only because I was a kid when I saw it and it scared the living bejesus out of me. That one still sticks with me.
I would
more recent times, I don't know. What about you, Carly?
I would say Hide and Seek, because I was in first grade when I
that.
saw it, and it scared the ever living. Like, oh, it was so bad. I couldn't sleep in my own bedroom for like the longest time.
What was that one about?
It was you'd actually really like it. It's about this guy. So this family moves into this home with these kids with their dad, and like eventually they see. So I don't want to spoil it, but so they at night start hanging out with this figure. It's kind of like a paranormal movie, and they gave him a special name, and they would draw pictures of him, and it was really disturbing pictures. And later on, like, the dad would try to prevent that thing from happening. I'm pretty sure most people have seen it, but what
Let me
I'm
tell you how it ends.
what happened. Well, no, hang on.
They kill them, but they don't.
Well, here's what I think happened. So I think that, and the house was kind of off in the country. I think that the monster was the dad under the influence of alcohol, because they show him as the monster but in a different personality, and he actually hurt the kids. So like he was going after the kids to try and kill them. Yeah. So I think that it was him with under the influence of alcohol, because you know how angry some people get. But
yeah, well, that would make sense for if you're trying to make a movie that's kind of socially awake, or
Yeah. And then when he figured
addressing
out
an issue of alcoholism.
Yeah. And so the way that he figured out what it was, who it was, or what it was by the end of the movie, when he went to go try and find his kids, he had his hands covered in like blood and dirt and stuff, and he didn't remember doing it.
Right.
So I think it was more like alcohol related and drug related.
Yeah,
but
alcohol and drugs. Yeah.
Bob says it's a great film. I watched it when I was a child, and it was terrifying. I remember that night very vividly. I couldn't sleep in my room for months.
Yeah. Well, it's a great way to handle the social issues of alcoholism and drug abuse, because people do get that way. They do forget. So.
Yeah, I think if I watched it now, it'd be like, wow, this was really corny. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really that scary. But
maybe not.
It was pretty freaky one. So.
Well, I'll still stick with The Exorcist, going because that was, extremely scary movie in its day for a lot of reasons. All right, Bob Burnell has a question for us, and there's another one from Linda Wu. I'll get to that in a minute. Do you think serial killers are a product of paranormal influence, such as attachment, or dare I say, a demonic or something? I do think many are, actually. If anybody's ever watched or listened to the podcast series Where the Bodies Are Buried, you listen to they talk to the actual serial killers on the phone who are in jail, and they're talking to them, and this guy has gotten to know them for years and years and years. And these guys have no real remorse. They don't see human life as anything special, which is how demons see humans. They don't like us. They don't respect us. They don't see us as anything worthwhile. They hate us, as a matter of fact. And some of these guys don't necessarily hate, but they're indifferent to people.
They lack humanity.
They do. They lack humanity. Part of it's upbringing. I mean, these guys talk about, if you guys haven't listened to that podcast, it's really good podcast. I suggest you listen to it. Again, it's called Where the Bodies Are Buried, and it's on Spotify and pretty much any radio or podcast thing you can listen to, iHeartRadio. It's on all those. You listen to them talk, and they talk about having a normal childhood. Well, they didn't have a normal childhood. Their normal childhood, in fact, with one of them, his father was a serial killer. And they used to be beaten and abused, and his father would talk to his son about his people he killed and murdered and everything else, and he actually got his son involved with it. So these are not normal childhoods, okay? But to them it is, because it's all they knew. Right? They only knew violence and hatred and abuse, and that's it. So, but I do think you listen to these guys, and there is an influence there. In some cases, it's just an influence. In others, I would actually say they're actually possessed. I don't think who they're talking to at times is the actual person who's in there. I think they're actually talking to the demon that's in there. And in some cases, I think, like there was one who was a young kid who I think just really, had problems and issues. And maybe there was an influence there, but he wasn't possessed or anything. But I think for most real serial killers, the ones that are out there murdering every day, and there's still ones that are out there murdering every day and they've never been caught yet, there's something more. Yeah, there's something more to that. What do you think, girl?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like when you listen to them talk on the phone, because the guy will call them right up, like when they're in jail. There's just like something to their voice that's just they're lacking. Not even just like empathy, but like it's so different. Like they're completely disconnected from the humanity portion of what makes us human, and I really honestly don't think that we're capable of doing that, ourselves. So, because that's just who we are, we're born with the humane instinct. These guys are like, no. So, and just if you think about it, like they have this deep-seated like hatred for humans. So it fits, You know, it fits how demonics feel about humans, you know, like they're not worth, you know, being able to influence the world and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there is something going on there. It's more than just the mental illness. I mean, there is that too. I mean, part of it is that, but I think that's what opens, and the lifestyle there. And I think that opens up the door for these other things to step in and make things even worse. You know?
Well, that's how demonics work, though. They play off of the mental illness. They don't just, you're not a marionette where they're like, here's the limb, and they're just moving you. That's not the case. They're manipulating you into doing it. They're convincing you to do it. And they give you the feelings of fake, like false feelings of like, if you do this, this is how it's going to feel. You know, this is what's going to happen. So they don't just like, they're constantly talking to the person, you know. It's so, and based off of my experience, because I've told you, like, I've been told to do stuff like that, but it was my choice, like, not to do it. So I've had those voices in my head trying to convince me and telling me and having those flashes and being like, oh, you know. So it's messed up. They're very smart. They're it's not a joke, you know, when you're dealing with that stuff. So
and hello out there, Barry Martz. I just want to say hi to Barry before I go to this next one. This is again from Linda Lou, and I know there's more questions down below. I will get to those. What advice can you give, like myself? My dreams have consisted of dead people lately. Recently, my half brother passed away in January, and I dreamt about him last night. Well, I'm not a dream. We don't interpret dreams here, but I would say, like in some of these cases, if it seems very vivid, the individual seems vivid to you, it could be a message from them, either to let you know they're okay or just reaching out to you, things like that. How about you, Carl?
I think, yeah, you know, especially with some people who have passed, if you see them in a dream and you're able to remember the dream afterwards, people say that it is like a message from them and stuff. I do believe that, yeah. I think also like your grief for them and like you're dreaming of them also opens that door for them to be able to come in and talk to you a little bit more. I believe, but yeah, I do agree that they are coming in saying like, hey, I'm here for you. Especially if you're going through a period where you're very stressed, you know, and it's very comforting to know that they have your back. So.
Very true. So I don't know if we have any advice for you there, except like, you know, the only advice I would give is like when you wake up and you remember those dreams, before you get out of bed, keep a pen and pencil next to the bed, and before you get out of bed, write it down, what you dreamt about. And who the dream was about. And, you know, that way you can keep a record of it and you can look at that later on and maybe even find somebody who does dream interpretation and have them, you know, see if they can interpret anything for you. So that's the only advice I would have. Yeah. And you have to do it before you get out of bed because usually once we do, we kind of really forget things. So yeah, keep a pen and pad there and wake up and write it down.
Especially write down what you're feeling.
Yes.
Not just what you see, like how you feel.
Very true. People are talking about their favorite scary movie out there. Linda Lou said it first was 1951 original version, The Thing. And yes, it was a very good movie. I love that movie myself. That was an early one. Barry says his was House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. Yes, I remember that. I think I even have that on digital. You know what was a really good one was matter of fact, the posters in the background there. It's
The Haunting.
The Haunting. Yeah, The Haunting. The original The Haunting.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was actually a very good interpretation of an actual haunted house, a haunting. The noises, the things, people being touched, but nothing ever being there. You never see anything. And that's what real hauntings are like, you know. Except for the door breathing, and I never saw a door do that, but you know, expanding out, and then I've seen doors open and close, but they had the knockings, the bangings, all that. It was pretty cool. That's a great one. You've seen it. Watch The Haunting. I think that was from 1950 something as well. And you can catch that one. Of course, more recently was kind of based on that was I think was it Netflix?
Haunting of Hill House.
Haunting of Hill House, which that's what that is. That's really the haunting is the house is Hill House. And so the series is kind of loosely based on that. But the series, if you hadn't seen it, the miniseries on, I think it was Netflix, it was very, very good. Very, very good. The first one. The second one, not so much. But the very first one, based on the actual movie, was pretty darn good. I really enjoyed that. And Sandy Carr is here. Sandy lives down in Missouri, and she's actually a client that I've never gotten to yet. Came close one time, but I don't know if she's still having activity down there or not. I haven't talked to her in a little while. She was last time I talked to her. It's been a while. All right, so Maureen Hilton has. Let's see if this is a question. Oh, she talks about she works at a mortuary, and the only spirit we see is the resident spirit that's been there for years. I often wonder why we don't see spirits that have just passed. Well, sometimes they've already moved on, so they don't necessarily hang out with their bodies, Maureen. But it could be they're transitioning too, and they're not, or they're with their family. Of course, it can be more than one place at one time, so it's hard to say. What are your thoughts on that, Carly? Why don't they at a mortuary? Why don't they necessarily see the spirit of a more recently deceased individual?
I would assume because they're spending time with their family rather than their body. So especially if people have passed suddenly, they have last words that they never got to say, or last messages, or even visitations, I'd say, like for dreams for some certain people. Honestly, I'm not certain, but also I was taught that newer spirits who have just recently left their body have a harder time manifesting physically, just because it's just harder to control. Like the older they get outside of their body, the more easier they become, the stronger they become, because they're more connected to that other side. That connection strengthens. So it's like their spiritual connection matures. So they then they're able to more manifest more powerfully, more quickly, and more clearly. But I maybe a combination of the two. So
I just wouldn't want to. I've been with my body for long enough. I don't think I'd want to hang around it anymore. Especially if I'm like really old and wrinkled and stuff. What the hell do I want to look at that thing for? I'd be like, I'm moving on, man. I'm moving on. I'm getting out of here. I probably wouldn't even hang out here. I'd be like, okay, what's next? What's the next realm? Where do I go from here? Yeah, what's out there? What's new? Probably want to check out the new stuff,
Yeah.
I don't want to hang around my dead body. What do I want to do that for?
Yeah.
Of course, you could get residual stuff that could happen just from the energy that's kind of left over. You did live in your body, so there's going to be some kind of residual energy there. That's why bodies sometimes just like twitch and move. So the residual energy.
Or here's another thought: that resident spirit that's over at that place is helping them cross over.
Oh, that's possible too. Yeah. Since you have a resident spirit there, that's very possible. That's a good thought on that. Yeah.
Places typically have a resident spirit where that will happen, like in nursing homes and hospitals. Like there are resident spirits that will be with the patients, like when they pass. I've seen them walking the halls of the hospital I used to work at, like.
Mm-hmm. So there you
like
go.
They own the place because they do, So
there you go, Maureen. There's another option or another possibility is that your resident spirit is really helping those spirits move on. Possibility. Or maybe he's a soul collector and he's collecting them. I just went dark there. It's okay. That's me. I go dark once in a while.
That's all right.
I posted up something Bob Burnell talked about back to serial killers. Poughkeepsie Tapes was a good documentary about real serial killers. I do like documentaries on serial killers. I think I like the whole psychological thing, trying to figure out why these people do what they do. And even watching those tells me kind of more and more. I think you would deal with something that's not completely human there. How do you explain that? Linda Lou says she doesn't like watching those. I don't necessarily blame her. Those are the ones that bother. And well, it's serial killers. They usually don't just kill very quickly or neatly either. They torture their victims. So I could see where you wouldn't want to watch that. What did Barry say? Did I miss something on Barry? Barry was saying something happened.
Yeah, his car broke down and it's going to need a new motor. But Hyundai does have to pay up because it was a settlement. So,
good to know.
Yeah. So that's a plus. I mean...
Yeah, sorry for all the problems there, Barry, but at least...
It sucks, but...
at least you know they got to pay for it.
Yeah. And, it happened in a way where you're safe. And, it could have been much worse, so...
Nick, you did not miss the horror film stuff by much. You're actually kind of just at the tail. I mean, we didn't talk about it for too long. So if you got something else you want to talk about with that, what's your favorite out there? He remembers The Haunting. Yep. First true serious film. And that's what I said about Paranormal Investigating. It probably really was. It was very well done. Again, Barry, sorry to hear about the problems. We'll send the $100,000 out, take care of your problems right away. Get the car changed, fix whatever. Get a new car. Money's in checks in the mail, Barry. We'll take care of that. Carly, get on that. You get the money in your account, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Checks in the mail. As I said, checks in the mail. Barry knows what that means. It means keep waiting because it ain't ever coming. But we're sorry for your problems, Barry. I hope you get them resolved all soon. And again, at least they have to take care of that for you. There's some conversations within each other out there. And Nick's talking about the location they shot The Haunting at. It was an actual haunted location. I believe it was actually, it was, but I believe it's actually in the UK. It actually wasn't in Massachusetts where the house was supposed to be. I believe they filmed that in the UK. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool film. I'm looking down. How many spirits are there? Billions? Well, I would say there's at least as many spirits as there are human beings, past and present. There might be a finite amount. That's actually kind of a good question. I don't know if there's billions. We have billions of people. I don't know. Souls? I don't know. Because really what we're talking about is spirits or souls, right? So we're talking about souls.
Then you also have the question of reincarnation.
Yeah. Are souls recycled? Is there only so many? There's only so many angels. There's not an infinite number of angels. And which means demons too, because angels and fallen angels. So they're a finite amount. They're not infinite, but they are immortal. But our souls are immortal. We know that. We've been told that. So maybe souls do get recycled. It will kind of make sense to a point. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you how many there are. But again, there's at least as many as human beings out there. Of course, there's been more and more and more humans over the centuries. So you can't say it's all the same souls recycled because there's more humans that have been created and more, that have been born and whatnot. So, the human race has grown in population. So there has to be new souls. Has to be. Can't just be all the same ones, right? Yeah. So,
then you also have the concept of twin souls, which are two human beings with two halves of a soul.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good question.
That is a good question. That's why I saw that, and they're watching us on our YouTube channel. I appreciate that. I don't want to pronounce your first name because I'll get it wrong. So I'm terrible with names, as some of our friends know. I can get Nick right, I can get Maureen right. You know, some of the names I get. I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just being kind. But I thought that was a great question, and I just don't really have a complete answer for that. But again, there's at least as many as there is human beings, right? If not more. Here's one. Myrox 18. Has there been an influx of people seeking help during the pandemic? Yes, there was. We saw quite a few people requesting it. We've addressed this question a few times, but it's still a great question. And we had a lot of requests during the pandemic. Unfortunately, we couldn't go help anybody because you couldn't go there. You just couldn't, especially in our case with my sister's, my own condition, and which I have COPD, and we couldn't take the risk. So anyway, but yes, and I think that, well, Carly, you give your opinion on that. I'm doing all too much talking, so you give your opinion. Why do you think there was such an influx of cases, people seeking help during the pandemic?
So everybody was, a lot of factors. So everybody was cooped up inside, for quarantining, and people are working from home now, so they're constantly in their home during hours where normally it would be vacant, especially with the children being homeschooled. At this time, they're there to be able to witness the paranormal activity that has always been going on in their home, normally during hours when they're away. So they're there more often, they're able to notice it more. And also the fact that since they're cooped up inside all the time, all that energy and that stress and possible arguing and fighting, it clogs up the energy within and it gets very stuffy. So that can also have a huge influence because those intentions and that energy that's put out there can actually manifest activity within the home itself, even though it's not technically a spirit. It is energy that's able to manipulate the environment. So it was a combination of the two, where common grounding, shielding, and earthing was able to resolve the situations. So for most of them.
And I just want to say quick, because he said hi to us, our friend Frank, as he told me to call him. He's from up in Canada, Quebec area, I believe. Quebec region, anyway. I haven't seen him in quite a long time, since the last. Oh my God, my mind just went blank. Oh my God, Ken DeCosta's event down in Rhode Island. Anyways, Frank knows what I'm talking about. I haven't seen him since then. So we've talked and stuff.
Blank too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ocean State Paracon.
Yes.
That was the last time I saw him. That was a while ago. God, that was a while ago. But that was, and it may have been a couple back. Now, they didn't have one last year. I don't think Frank was at the one before that. I think he was at the one before that. And this was the last time I saw him.
The one where I met you?
Yes. So he may have been at the last one. But anyways, it was 2018 or 2017. One day. It's been a long time. Yeah. A lot of good conversations going on between everybody out there. That's good. We're always glad when you guys talk to each other out there. And Barry says, "Thank you, Carly. They're just talking to each other about our ups and downs in our cycle of life, and it's great to be here with all of you." Barry, we're glad to have you here, and we're glad you're able to talk about it. And I know all about ups and downs. And there's another reason you actually haven't seen me on for the last couple of weeks. I have been sick and not feeling good, but part of it is some other stuff going on. I won't get into details, but just some other stuff going on with me. And Carly's been having some stuff going on too. And, we all have our problems, right? I mean, we try to get through them as best we can. And Carly's still been doing a lot more with her gaming stuff too. So she's been focusing on that. And there's sometimes when she has something that conflicts, and I just won't do the show without her. I just refuse to. So that's some of it too. But I have been dealing with some stuff myself these last few weeks. And you got to go for help for that. You got to go. Actually, you got an appointment next the 11th to see my doctor about some stuff. Could be depression. I don't know. Could it be just COVID depression kind of thing? I don't know. Could it be something else? It could be. Going to have some blood work done, stuff like that. So it could be something else too. But we're all going through stuff these days, and just hang in there as best we can and get through it. And sometimes we just need some time to ourselves to take a break, focus on ourselves, just do something that mindless, something that makes us feel good, and go from there. But you can't get yourself at the same time, let yourself get stuck in a rut either. And Frank said, Ocean State, you're right. Yes, that was where we last saw. And they're talking about how I think Bob's talking about a relaxation technique he uses. Or maybe it's not a relaxation technique, but it's something. I'm going to post this up there. Bob, I'm just going to put this up there because I'm reading this, and it's kind of interesting. And I think this is what I think he's talking to Barry about, or someone about. And Barry, I see you have a question. I will get there in a second. It is for you, Carly. Picture a boardroom with a huge table with the devil sitting at the head along both sides were all his demons. One is into rape, another is into suicide, another is into war, another disease, so forth. So because people are not evil at the start. Oh, I know what he's getting into. Thieves are innocent. Influence all. Okay, I get that. Okay, I see where you're coming from there. All right, and so that's in regards to getting like, where do these influences come from, and serial killers and things like that. So that's an interesting way to kind of look at that perspective and try to figure things out. And so this is a question from Barry for Carly. Just presented some information about using selenite for protection from negative energy. What are your thoughts on this? If you think this is valid, what other crystals would offer protection from negative energy? That's a question for you, Carl.
Okay. So what I do know about selenite is that it is a crystal that's used to keep the energy going, keep it flowing, prevent blockages. And so I can see how those are really good for protection from negative energy because it keeps the positive energy flowing. Think about your hamster ball bubble that I was telling you about, the white light around you. That's just not stagnant. That's just not something that's just boom, it stays. It's like a brick wall. It is ever moving because it's constantly pushing the negative energy away, which is an active motion. What I typically like to use is for like protection from negative energy is quartz. And a good technique is if you put a white quartz in each corner of your property, or if you want to do a specific room, each corner of your room, it creates this kind of like force field wall to prevent negative energy or anything that you don't want in that space after it's cleansed from crossing in. So I also use, what's the word? I always talk about it all the time. Black tourmaline. So we were talking about dreams earlier. If you put black tourmaline under your pillow, it helps prevent bad dreams because it does absorb the black color black is actually a really good indicator with these types of stones. Black is an absorber of light. It's an absorber of energy. So it absorbs the negative energy, which it needs to then be cleansed occasionally. But it's great with bad dreams absorbing the bad energy. I also like to keep Tiger's Eye on me for grounding, to keep myself kind of centered. You can get, for anybody who like doesn't want to just like hold stones, you can actually get bracelets with different stones and crystals on them. So there's these things called lava rock bracelets, and you can actually infuse them with scents. So like lavender, you can do different like the oil scents and stuff. I like lavender because it's very calming. So there's definitely different types of crystals and stones that people like to use for different scenarios. But you guys also, it's a very personal aspect. So what you feel that you need, what you are drawn to, is definitely what you need. So definitely do some research and visit those shops and see what you're drawn to.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's all good advice. But our next question, what are your thoughts, if any, on connections with spirits and extraterrestrials, aliens? Actually, there's a show on tonight that's kind of dealing with that a little bit. It's called Skinwalker Ranch. I don't know if you guys been watching any of that or not. It is a good little series. They're actually at a point where they're kind of discussing that with portals and this activity that's going on at the ranch and stuff like that. And there's some kind of connection there? I don't know. I don't know if there is a connection between all that. There is in a way. I guess, everything's connected, right? Yeah, it's the way it's the thing that goes around. Everything is connected one way or another. And we're talking about energy. Even portals are energy, whether it's spirit portals or some other kind of terrestrial portal or something like that. But I mean, there is theories that the angels and demons were actually aliens that came to Earth, and that's what they became known as, the angels and the demons, based on whether they were trying to help humans or destroy humans. There's people who believe that maybe Jesus was an alien, right? Which is why he ascended into heaven, right? Beamed up, things like that. I mean, those are all theories that are out there, or ideas, concepts that are out there. So, I don't know. I have given it thought. I haven't seen the connection between like human spirit and aliens or extraterrestrials, but go with that, Maureen. I mean, who knows? I'm not going to say anybody's wrong about anything, because you just don't know.
I like that.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I like that show, Skinwalker Ranch, because I like to watch the security guy. Because if you look at him throughout the entire show, he constantly has a scowl on his face.
Yeah, he's
all the
always
time,
miserable.
all the time.
He's
and I'm
always
like,
miserable.
I just laugh at that because I'm just like, I'm security guy.
It must be like how his face is made.
It's just every time the camera cuts to him, he just always has a scowl on his face, and it's not like he's angry or anything, or if he's trying to look, or if he is looking tough. But it just makes me laugh every time, because I'm just like, oh, there he is with the scowl on his face. So it's just funny.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Yeah, I don't think
It's
the guy's ever smiled in his life. He doesn't look like he has. Yeah, I think his face would crack if he smiled. Then there's the other guy, this other scientist guy that seems like, I think he's actually an android or something. He doesn't talk like a human. He just always very matter-of-factly talks.
And he never makes a mistake.
No, he never says or he's always. I think he's an android. I think the rich guy built him. He's a.
Yeah, his name is Dragon. Yeah.
No, Dragon is a security guy.
Yeah. The guy with the
I'm talking about the other guy.
No, I know. No, Linda was talking about the security guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm talking about the other scientist guy that never misses a beat on his speech or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
He's an android that was built by the rich guy that owns a place there. Android. Or maybe he's an alien. I don't know. So Iraq suggested we, I was going to bring this up, react to paranormal stories. It'd be interesting to see your perspectives. We do get people bring up their stories and stuff, and we discuss that. We discuss everything here, but our main focus is really answering people's questions. That's why we call it Paranormal Q&A. We try to answer people's questions about the paranormal here. That's the focus of this show. Although people do bring up their experiences and sometimes tell their story on here when we have guests on and stuff like that. And we talk about those things. So we do that. But there's a lot of shows out there that just talk about places that are haunted and experiences they had there, and then they talk about that. And so, I mean, there's a lot of those shows, which is why I wanted to do something different and really just try to answer people's questions about the paranormal as best we can, or point them in the right direction. And more importantly, get you all out there talking amongst each other. So yeah, Rox, if you probably don't see all the other stuff that comes on here on from Facebook and stuff, but if you came to like the Facebook page, which is just Jack NY 45, you could come on the Facebook page and you would see all the other questions and you could interact with everybody. And I have been thinking about kind of combining this down either to just one or two sites. If I do that, it'll be YouTube and my public Facebook page. I may remove my regular private Facebook page and use my public page, which all you have to do there is go and like it, and you'll get all the notifications and everything else. And that way more people can go to like one or two spots to talk, and they'll see everybody's comments and everybody's questions. I know some people miss that. And you do, because you guys don't see what I see. I see everybody's questions from all the different areas. But not everybody has Facebook, and not everybody has YouTube, so or are comfortable using those. So, but we do a lot of different stuff here, but mostly our focus is and always will be answering questions about the paranormal from everybody. Barry just mentions that he has some quartz of black tourmaline. I'll have to try this out then. Thank you, Carly. Thanks you for that.
I do have an answer for Linda, because she did ask where to get some crystals from. So you can go to any one of your local metaphysical shops. Particularly the ones that I like to go to when we travel are the shops in Salem. There's one specific one that we go to in Salem to get like all our candles, some crystals that we're low on for clients, and some personal crystals for ourselves.
Crowhaven Corner.
Crowhaven Corner, yes. Okay. It's next to the Harry Potter wand or Harry Potter like themed shop too.
Yeah, it's literally right on the corner across from the Hawthorne.
Also, there's a few people in the paranormal field that I've actually gotten some stuff from, if you guys are interested. Kara Shoplin, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She has Reiki-infused bracelets and crystals that she sells. So, because she is a Reiki master herself. She's so sweet. And her bracelets have actually really helped me as well. And her and George are great people, so she's definitely a really good one. We also have Kristen Hewitt is another one. She also sells crystals herself, and little crystal wands, if you guys are interested in those. I'm not entirely sure what they're used for, but they are very pretty. She makes them herself, handmade. And she actually goes out and collects some of the crystals herself. So also she makes bracelets and stuff that can be infused with different scents that she has. And that's all that's on my brain right now. My brain's kind of out of it, but if you guys would like a list of people that I've gotten stuff from, I mean, pretty much everybody in the paranormal field who sells metaphysical items is definitely trustworthy and has very good quality stuff.
And if you don't have access to, you can actually find stuff online, right, on Amazon and stuff like that. And they're actual stones. The problem is you can't touch them and feel them before you buy them. That's
and cleanse them before you use them.
Yes, even no matter where you get them from.
Yep.
And thank you, Kat Cooper. It's great hearing from you. I haven't heard from you in a while. I haven't talked to you in a while. Thanks. Glad you enjoyed the show. That's what we try to do. We try to just answer people's questions, Kat. So, and Sean, yes, we'll be, well, assuming the college picks it up, we'll be offering the class again. It's just going to be the first class again because we kind of got set back from everything with COVID. So we're going to kind of restart. I am putting in the application information stuff to SUNY Schenectady, who asked me back in 2019 if I would do it, and then COVID hit. And back to Hudson Valley, I'm reaching out to them again. So we're going to try to get these classes going again this year. If they don't get picked up this year, we'll definitely be doing next year. They do want us to come back. I just got to get the information. As a matter of fact, I got to get that information out to SUNY Schenectady here very shortly. So we'll bring them back, but we're just bringing back the first class again this time, and we will be planning on like a part 2 later on in 2022. So again, just because of a setback, this whole damn COVID setback stuff. All right, so just wanted to bring that up. Let's see. I'll just go through this up here from Drew Henry. Yes, do you all plan on seeing the movie The Devil Made Me Do It this weekend? Claims to be the most documented haunting on record. No, I wasn't planning on going to it. I actually haven't been to the movies in a while. I actually probably would be good to go see it. I hadn't planned on it. I hadn't really thought about it. Yeah, I haven't been to a movie in a long time. Could be a good one to go see them. You know, just get out of the house.
I've been craving movie theater popcorn since COVID started.
I did see, and you reminded me of that when I did see previews for it, so it actually did look pretty good. So thanks for reminding me.
I don't think I've seen it. I've been gaming, so.
Huh?
I've been gaming, so I have no idea what movies are coming out and not.
I just saw it actually it was on my phone. I got an announcement from the movie theaters. So I was looking at different movies coming up, and that was one. And Linda Lou says, thank you so much for info on the crystals, Carly. Okay.
Oh, no.
I said they contacted a few people and never responded. So, sometimes, unfortunately, we don't control everybody else. But if you have anybody else you could suggest.
Yeah. I can send you a bunch of list of people. There's tons of people in the paranormal field. Every event that we go to, I think there's more vendors for like metaphysical objects and crystals and stuff than there is speakers.
Yeah, and Barry might have and
they're all wonderful people. So.
Yeah, and Barry might have a list of some people from when he goes to as a matter of fact, he was just at the event, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
The crystal.
For the crystal. The crystal. So maybe Barry, because of contacts from there or something, he could post out as well. That'd be great. If you could, Barry, if you want to, not asking you, not making you, but if you'd like to, you can post any contact information you have for crystals and stuff here on my Facebook page. Feel free. Anything that helps people. So it's all good. Barry also posted a link for Skinwalker Ranch. Yep. I actually saw a documentary about that too before the show ever came out, which was pretty good. And yeah, that's about it. Carly, you got anything you want to talk about? We're getting close to the end here. Anything you want to mention? Your gaming stuff?
Not right now. Everything's pretty much on hold. I will come out with the date for the fundraiser stream for I'm blanking on names, but last one I mentioned that we were doing a fundraiser stream in a couple weeks, so I will be mentioning the date for that coming up now. Just going through some stuff, but I will be doing that very soon, so stay tuned. I'll be posting that on Facebook. So.
And if you're looking for any of my books or anything, you can find them all on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. Just put in search term Jack Kenna, and all my books should come up, and my comic book should come up there. And again, we have some investigations we're going to be doing coming up, and some events. So if you want to check out any of the events we're going to be doing, you can check out my website, which is jackkenna.org. That's jackkenna.org. And you can go there and check out any of the events we're going to be at. Some of them aren't posted yet, but I'll be posting more soon, and including any ones we're doing with Spirits of New England. When we will be doing the USS Salem later this year. I might be doing like an investigation. I'm going to be doing like a short, plan is to do like a short 4-hour training session and investigation on the Salem on like a Saturday or something, whatever dates we can work out with Don. Again, Ellen's taking care of all that, so I'm leaving that up to her. But you can find all of them there on my website. I'm just going to post it here. There you go. That's my website address. Easy to find. jackkenna.org. jackkenna.org. And you can look up anything there. And, anything else we got going on. Sometimes usually post there or here on my Facebook page. All right, everybody. We're going to say goodnight to you all. We only got 4 minutes, but I'm going to cut it a little short tonight. I appreciate you all coming out, as always, and all the questions. If we have something we missed, we'll catch you the next time with it, or we'll go back through and see if we see any of your questions, and we'll try to give a response to that here in the feed. So you guys all have a great night. Love you all. Missed you all. And thanks for the prayers and the good thoughts. Love you. And we'll see you again next Tuesday. We'll be back next Tuesday. I promise. I promise. I always keep a promise. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Where's my thing card? Oh, there it is.